Hey, poker people. Thanks for tuning in to another hand reading. Day 14 of 66 days in a row of hand reading. Really getting a lot out of this. I'm feeling really good, pretty confident about my game. Looking forward to getting back to the tables and playing a little bit more. Hopefully tomorrow, hour and a half or so. But anyway, I've got on my Echo Dot, I have a Bachman Turner Overdrive playing, and I don't think I can concentrate with this. So, Alexa, play Baroque era classical music. That works a little bit better right there. Can't sing to Bachman Turner while I'm trying to concentrate on this stuff. Alrighty, so we're gonna do another villain's range today. Earlier we did this hand right here, raise bet raise hand, when I flopped a set of jacks, and I tagged it right here. You can see I tagged it with 66 days tag. So from now on, every hand that I do, because everything's hidden from me, I don't know what cards I have, I don't know if I won or lost the hand, I realize that, hey, I might end up doing an old hand, once again. So I'm going to tag them all from now on so that we don't do any repeats here. But let's see here. Let's take a look in the cutoff now. Raise, bet, check, fold. We don't want to look at a folding hand. We want to see hand that we're in all the way. Raise, bet, raise, bet. Raise, bet, raise, bet. We'll try it out. See what happens here. So in this hand, of course, before we go too much further, let's whip out the tools of the trade. Split Suits hand reading template right here. You can get it at splitsuit.com. And then, of course, Flopzilla, the two most important things that we use for hand reading, besides the hand itself, of course, right here. So hand number 878-455-64. Dated 7/2, not too long ago. Actually don't know anything about this hand. We're in the cutoff is all I know. Guess we gotta look at the hand a little bit here. Alright, what happens? Raise. Oh, nice, a 4x. Yeah, so we saw earlier I was making a 3.5x to $1.75. I like making it 2, but I prefer actually 225. Just make it a straight 9 big blinds. Like pretend that large balance here was making a 3 big blind bet. I should raise it a little bit more. But that's cool. So we're looking at the villain's range right here. We can see it's only 34 hands, but he's a 38-29. He's a very loose, aggressive player. So we 4x 3 bet over a min open from a lag. What were his stats again? 38-29 over 34. And he calls. So let's see what range he has right here. First he opened and then just called. We're probably going to take out aces, kings, and queens from this loose. Maybe even jacks. We'll keep jacks in. You can often see, let's start with a 15% range. We'll whittle it down a little bit. So he's super loose aggressive. He's opening and then he's 4-betting aces, kings, and queens is my guess. He's possibly 4-betting ace, king suited. What's his 3-bet is 0 so far. And I don't know what his 4-bet is. Let's see his 4-bet total, nothing so far. Just don't have enough hands on the guy. So I am going to only put the queens are better in his 4-betting range. Everything else can be calling, especially he's calling out of position right here. 6-5, let's not go that low. Let's give him a few suited aces right here. Give him all the suited broadways, and let's not give him those 2 bad ones. Ace jack offsuit, yeah, I can see that calling. Ace 10 offsuit as well, but I won't give him offsuit connectors and stuff in his 3-bet calling range. So you got to think about what this is, 3-bet calling range. From his perspective, we could be 3-betting with pocket 9s or 8s right here just to try to steal. He could be calling with these weaker broadways, not the super weak broadways, but some of the weaker ones. And these are suited, of course, which people do often call with those. At least one street they'll call to see the flop. He's loose aggressive, likes to see flops and stuff, so we'll do that. Look at that. He's pretty flop honest when he's making C bets. Folding 100% 1 out of 1. This guy might be pretty fit or fold post flop, so that will be interesting to see what happens with the flop. We're 3-betting a full 4x. Feels like I might kind of want him to fold. I'm going to give myself 10s here. Yep, so if we do have 10s, we have 65% equity versus this range. Because, of course, you know, as it stands, we beat all of his pocket pairs. We're currently ahead of all of his non-paired hands. He's ahead of us with only one hand, and we chop with that. So we have pretty good equity right here. Things are looking well. But I think, let me see, 7-6. I think oftentimes these kinds of players, look how big his stack is, okay? He has a full 3x stack. That means he has, I don't know if he's been playing well, but he's been winning a lot of pots, doubled up and then tripled up, or just tripled up, whatever. And so he could be on like runner's high and is opening and calling wide. Actually, come to think of it, he could be calling pretty wide right here. Let's give him down to that. Not all the aces, but let's keep him there. Let's keep those in. Let's keep some of these suited 2-gappers in. People do sometimes call with those. But he could be on runner's high, winner's tilt, that kind of a thing, and just playing hands that he shouldn't be playing. So let's give him, and that feels like a really wide range. What is it exactly? 19.3 and 256 combos? That is a really wide range for calling a 3-bet. But as we saw yesterday, man, we get some crazy 19.3? 19.3. We get some crazy wide callers of 3-bets, cold calling 3-bets too, that kind of stuff. It can happen. So as of right now, we're going to put him on that. We're going to give us the 2 middle 10s there for 65% equity. Let's see. Whoops. Let's see what happens. Ace 9-8, Diamond Heart Club. So our pocket 10s, he has plenty of aces in his range, but a lot of non-ace hands. And so we're currently ahead of a lot of his range still, but just barely, 53% equity. We're a chop, basically, at this point. But let's see what happens. We have position. That's a good thing. And he looks to be flop honest. So even if I do have pocket 10s here, this is almost a mandatory C-bet spot, I would say. We've got to at least rep that ace. He could be checking, he could be min opening and then calling. All those cards that we saw that completely whiffed. There's a lot of draws that he has here, some backdoor flushes, but lots of straight draws, gutters, and stuff. But we have to throw out that bet. Rep the strong ace pre-flop, rep hitting the ace on this flop, and get him off of his hand. If he has any kind of, if he possibly has a weaker ace and could be scared of us, it's possible. 290, what is that? 290 divided by 435. Come on. Feels like 2/3. Yep, 2/3 pot exactly. Oh, and then he makes a min raise here, huh? Ah, he could be on, well, he is pretty flop honest in this instance. So when he check min raises, it feels like, it really does feel like value. It feels like a set, possible 2-pair. He does have ace 9, ace 8 in his range, and those ones, because we 3-bet pre-flop, he can expect us to c-bet, so he expects to be getting value out of all of our random ace hands that lose to his current 2-pair hands. 2-pair, top pair check raising. Not all the top pairs. Let's take some of these out of his check raising range. Ace 10? I don't think ace 10 is check raising. Ace queen and ace king, I think, are check raising, is what I'll say. I'm going to take out a good portion of his top pair range for sure. Let's see, pocket pair below. I don't think any of those are check raising at this point. He appears from his stats to be pretty flop honest. So I'm going to say that he's got mainly a value hand. Open ender? It's possible. One street he could be doing it, try to get us to fold, but hoping to hit. If he has Jack 10 right here or 7-6, I mean, he could stack us with a pretty good turn card. Gut shots? I don't think those are check calling gut shots. Nope. So open ender, yeah, that's it. Holy cow, look at that. We've taken him down. We've removed 78% of his pre-flop range based on this strong check raise on an ace-high board in a 3-bet pot after all. I mean, the pot is really big. This is a really big check raise. 42 hands, 21.5. Pretty narrow range right here, man. 21.5, 42 hands? 42 hands. Okay, cool. Yep. So at this time, I mean, we're still. No, actually, no, we're not. Now that we've filtered it, we're way down in equity, only 22% if we do have the tens. But the fact that let's see, we're not ranging myself fully, but let's see what we have here. Am I really betting and then calling with pocket tens? I think I could. One street, we have position. He might check, and then we can just check behind on the turn, and then he could have just been bluffing, or we could continue with another bet to try to bluff him off of a hand on the turn. Yeah, I think I could. Tens, jacks, queens, and kings could all bet call here. At least one street versus a super loose aggressive guy that could be on winner's tilt. Runner's high he could be on. Oh, and I re-raise. Holy cow. No way. I don't have tens. I have ace king. Or aces. Ace king or a set of aces. One of the two. I did 3-bet pre. Yeah, I like my hand right here. And he just calls. Interesting. So we're actually going to probably narrow this down a little bit more. Wait a second. Upon his call, 21, only 14. Oh, it's really easy for him to get the remainder of our stack by just calling right here. He doesn't have to let us know he has a set. Or he probably has a set of 8s or 9s and is concerned that we have a higher set, like a set of aces because we 3-bet pre-flop. Yep. So let's see what we can do with this. Sets, 2-pair, top pair, open ender. Actually, all of those could check raise and then call. He doesn't have to shove with an open ender. He could check raise call. I'm going to keep him on the same range. I am. Keep him on this exact same range. Oh, I changed my cards and that changed these cards. Darn it. I just got to leave them as tens. I forgot because that removes, if we had an ace, that blocks a lot of his ace X combos. So we can't do that. We got to keep the tens. If we start off with the 10 or the tens, we got to keep it there. Even though that's not a hand I would be doing, that'll change the whole hand reading thing here. Actually, no. If we change it on the flop, it doesn't change anything. Because we have his flop range set right here. Now, if we wanted to change our card on the turn, that would make a difference because it totally changes his flop range. But us having this didn't change the range that we saved for him here. Even though we have ace, king, or pocket tens, he still had 256 combos in his range pre-flop. So let's change that. It actually has 33 combos because now we have an ace blocker. If we 3-bet, I really think we have an ace or a set. But quite often we have ace, king right here is my guess. 18.2%. So we removed 88% of his, or 82% of his range. Pretty darn good from his pre-flop range. Gravy. So I'm liking this right here. I mean, the fact that I raise versus loose aggressive guy, I've got a hand that I like, and I'm not going to give up. Guaranteed. There ain't no way I'm folding to a shove right here by him. He checks. I expect a shove. I shove. And then he calls. Good. So at this time, I am not going to necessarily... Yeah, okay. So at this time, I am betting, and I am expecting him to call. Like, I don't think he's check raising and then calling and then folding on a 4. That 4 doesn't help anybody. It doesn't complete any kind of draw at all. If he had an ace king and now I have an ace 4 and I beat him, but highly unlikely that 4 helped either of us. So what is he giving me value? Assuming I'm betting for value here, not trying to get him to fold his hand. Assuming I'm betting for value, what is he giving? What is he calling me with? He's calling with his sets. He's calling with his 2 pairs. Is he calling with all these top pair hands? He's calling with those, yeah. I don't think now he's calling with this open-ended straight draw at this point. No. So really, oh, whoops, didn't put the card down. 4 of hearts. Let's keep that there. Okay, good. So this is on the flop. Now the 4 of hearts hits on the turn. Now we got to take a look. He's not calling with the draws. Not an all-in. Possibly with the flush draw. What are those? Jack 10 and 7. Oh, yeah, they're open-ended plus a flush draw. Okay, he's calling with those. Yep. So actually, we didn't take too much out of his range at all right now. On this turn card right here, he says he has 82% of his prior street range. Pretty decent. 82% and 27 combos. So we only removed 5 combos here. But this is the range that we expect him to continue against us with. 82%, I think it was. Yep. Yeah, we expect him to continue with this range, which if we do just have top pair, we're actually a dog. We're barely ahead at this point because he has the possible draws and weaker top pairs with the ace queen. But we're just barely ahead, not too much at all, 57%, which is better than nothing. I mean, the fact that we have the best hand 57% of the time, I think it's worth a value bet. For less than a pot size bet, we have a 2/3 pot right here. Yeah, definitely worth it. So let's see what he has. The 5 doesn't help either of us. He has ace 10 offsuit. Oh, wow, I took that out of his range. I thought he wouldn't be... I thought that he would not make the play he did on the flop with the ace 10. I thought it'd be ace king. So I took too many hands out. I guess I should have realized that he is so loose aggressive, but he's pretty flop honest, and this is a 3-bet pot. But maybe because it's a 3-bet pot, it's a lot more money worth fighting for. So maybe that's why he made that. He check raised and then called with an ace with a real crap kicker. I guess he had a backdoor straight draw too, and that's why. But that's good. I mean, we had the ace queen. I gave myself ace king for making this play. But he's such a loose aggressive guy, it makes sense that I'm doing this play with ace queen too. Because maybe in the moment I knew what he was capable of. Looking back on it now, I don't remember this table at all, this session. I don't know what he was playing like to get up to a 3x stack right there. But yeah, I mean, that hand worked out really well. Doubled up through him at $50. Had a full stack. Now at 2x stack right now. Yeah, so that's good. So I did make a mistake by taking away too many hands. So that's one. Let's see here. Lesson learned. The super lags can check raise call on the flop with top pair weak kicker plus a backdoor straight draw. And that makes sense. And he has a super lag, 38.29. Who knows in the long run, if I have like 500 hands on him now, he might have calmed down a little bit. This could be an effect of running so hot because as we saw at the beginning of the hand, the guy had a full 3x stack. He could have just been running super hot, and so he's playing so much. Maybe in the long run, he ends up cooling down a little bit, and he ends up being like BigtheBig up here to 28.24, or not anyone else here, but maybe like playing like somebody else, you know. As of right now, though, he's really aggressive, and so I should have taken that into account. He's check raising with just a random ace on this flop, a weak ace, ace 10. He's check raising, and then I'm calling as well, thinking that maybe I don't know what he's thinking. He was probably on like winner's tilt, runner's high from winning so much and thinking that his ace could still be good even though he's got a crap kicker. Because if you think about it, he's check raising me. What am I going to 3-bet on that flop, right? Am I going to 3-bet an ace 7, an ace 6, an ace 5, something that his ace 10 beats? I don't think so at all. Am I 3-betting pocket kings or queens where his ace is better? I don't think so. Am I 3-betting a random pair of 9s like queen 9 or jack 9? No, I'm not. So his 10s right there, not 10s, his ace 10, it wasn't ahead of anything I'm calling with. So it feels to me like he was turning his top pair hand into a bluff. Like I was only folding complete whiffs. In that instance, I was folding out everything that he beats, and I'm only calling with something that's better than him. So I think he was trying to make a value bet that wasn't a value bet. He screwed up his value bet. Is my assumption on that one right there. Alrighty, well that ends that unsuccessful hand reading. Successful hand doubled up against him, but unsuccessful because I removed that ace 10, and I should have kept it in that super loose aggressive player's range a little bit longer. Alrighty, y'all. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on day 15.